Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Which we both were.
Yes, we can both be president someday if we choose.
I just realized my mic is shouting.
Oh, wow. It's a shouting mic.
It's a loud mic.
It's a loud mic. Well, maybe we can adjust the levels along the way.
I think maybe.
In the USA. Listen, this is a Brink After Show. Anything is possible here.
We like to show you behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe not.
BTS.
Yeah, sometimes
as they say.
It's a loud day in your ears.
In your ears. Sometimes it's a quiet day. Just last week, I could barely hear anything in my earphones.
Did you? Oh, wow.
So what we strive for is a happy medium, and I think we're getting there little by little.
Little by little. That's why we have so many episodes to fix it by the end.
Exactly. But you know what? It's sounding great now. There we go.
A little reprieve of the music.
Love that.
Thank you.
This episode is called Tweet, Tweet, Tweet. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Three tweets. And I am called Lauren Lograsso. You can find me on Twitter at LoLoLogro and Facebook.com/Lauren Lograsso. And I have a very wonderful gentleman to my left. Could you introduce yourself, sir?
Hello. You know, you do such a great job when you introduce yourself of looking directly into the camera.
Oh.
I never look into the camera. It's like when you're talking in front of a crowd.
It's
Hello.
right
Hello. My name is David Abed. You can find me on Go Blue Dave on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram, where I now have over 1,000 followers, which is huge. Dave Abed, DAVEABED. Those are the two main places. Or just walking around West Hollywood or Los Angeles.
Sure.
Driving my Nissan Versa.
That sounds like a lovely car.
It's, you know, if Mercedes is watching and wants to throw us a car, that would be fine too.
Sure. We'll do a timeshare on that bad boy.
It's fine.
But listen, the Brink.
Listening.
Listen about this beautiful show.
Yes.
Okay, so this show starts out with the president. He's angry at Walter. My heel is stuck in the chorus. BTS. So the president is angry at Walter, and he's trying to convince him, and Walter's trying to convince him that he just needs more time.
Right, which it seems a little, I don't know, like we know that they saw the pictures of the dude leaving with the money.
Yeah.
So at this point, I am like in the president's corner almost. Like, look, it doesn't look like he's following what you said. You promised us. So I didn't even see any reason that anybody should listen to Tim Robbins.
Right. It seems like he's completely been duped.
Yeah.
And not only that, he's in that bad situation, but the guy who is his arch nemesis, Pierce, that's Pierce, right? Yeah. Pierce is the guy who's in charge now, and the president says that to him. So you got to get back to D.C., buddy boy, and Pierce is coming in, and he's going to handle things from now on.
It's like a penis measuring fight between the two, and he has a longer elephant trunk in this one.
Pierce does. Yes, he does.
Yes.
And Walter is not happy about that because, as we know, the things he values most are sexual intercourse and his job.
Yeah, do you think he still has sex with his wife?
I think they're more of a power play couple.
Yeah, like a Bill and Hillary Clinton type of thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Great. Just wondering.
I was thinking that too.
She looked great in this episode.
She always looks
her breasts
great.
Were humongous.
Oh, I didn't even notice them.
No?
I just think her face is so lovely, but
you have an interesting thing where you don't notice genital sizes.
Listen, I'm an equal opportunity person.
Sure.
As long as you get the job done, it's fine with me.
Okay.
But I think that they do not have intercourse, or if they do, it's very infrequent. And when it happens, it's like, do you watch House of Cards by any chance?
Sure.
You know that one scene where Francis and what's her name?
Kate Mara?
No. His wife.
Robin Wright Penn.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's her name in the show, though? I'm completely drawing blank. Claire.
Yeah.
That's right. So when they have sex in the most recent season, and it was completely like a power thing.
Right, that's true. So that's what we're imagining Tim Robbins is.
I think that's kind of what the relationship is like here. So anyway, Walter confronts Pierce. That's what I have.
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm. And they had that little fight. But, and the president was basically like, stop effing around. Mm-hmm. And he is the president, so he gets to tell Tim Robbins what to do.
Darn right.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, Tim Robbins, his tail's between his legs right now.
Yep.
As it should be. And his tail is also between his legs, but free of kidney stones.
That's right.
Yes.
Apparently, he's had no repercussions from yanking the catheter out of his urethra.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing fine. I was literally thinking about that this whole episode and just wondering if it was severed in half.
What was?
His junk.
His peen?
Well, when they pulled the thing out, yeah.
You think it would just slice half of the penis?
No, but like there should be some repercustions from that, right? It cannot be good.
Yeah, internally.
But you don't think it would hit a little bit of the front end?
I would think
like the hand motions I'm making. For the people who are just listening, I'm like literally doing the hand motions of ripping apart.
Yeah, I would more think it maybe like kind of cut the inside, like the end of the hose. Am I like rub wrong?
Sure,
but I don't.
I'm not sure. I've never had a catheter inserted into my
lived pee hole. I don't know what you'd call that.
Urethra.
Well, he obviously made the character choice to not have penile pain in this episode.
Penile pain was not present.
Strong
alliteration.
Choice. Yes, penile pain is not present.
That's a poem if I've ever heard one.
I don't think you've ever heard one.
I sure have.
Right.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Right. That's the only poet. And Emerson.
Yes.
Just because I know there's a college named after it. So what was the next scene? We have the president. Then they always bounce around.
Right. And then we have Rafy, sister, and the girls, and Talbot. They're in his apartment.
Right.
Yeah. And the girls were like, creepy uncle lives like a serial killer.
Yeah. And he just like started doubling down on, I'm creepy uncle guy.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I don't think he knows.
No. Oh, you don't think? Well, he calls himself creepy uncle guy.
No, he doesn't.
He's like, follow creepy uncle.
No. Rafy calls him creepy uncle.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty positive. I never heard him refer to himself as that.
I thought when he was leading them out, they were like, well, you know what? Who knows?
Maybe he called himself uncle.
Maybe.
But I don't think creepy.
Okay.
Unless I didn't hear it. We'll have to rewatch.
Yeah. And for, if you know, feel free to tweet us at Go Blue Dave.
Just at Go Blue Dave.
Just at not Lolo.
Please refrain from my Twitter. Just kidding. You can tweet me too, at Lolo.
Yeah, Lolo.
So... Yes, that's correct. So they're all in the apartment. The girls are on their cell phones, and that's so funny because it's kind of like doesn't matter what country you're in. Kids are just
obviously a comment on society.
At the technology.
Hey, nobody likes face-to-face interaction anymore. Action. I like face-to-face action.
Just once in a while.
That's called kissing. But these girls are underage, so we don't want to kiss them, and they don't want to bowl. They just want to tweet. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's sad.
Yep. I guess it's sad, but it's a funny commentary. It doesn't matter what country or continent you're on. That's the way it is right now.
I bet it's not on Antarctica because I bet they don't have cell phone towers.
I bet you they do at this point.
Think so? Maybe not.
I don't know what the population is like there.
I think it's like 7.
Really?
Antarctica?
Don't you think that they have to have at least one cell phone tower?
I don't think they have to.
Well, they don't have to by law.
Satellite phones, I would think.
Well, maybe we'll do research on this.
Totally,
at a later
something
date.
that has zero to do with the show, but let's do a lot of research.
But something that's interesting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll figure that out.
Maybe we do a whole AfterBuzz show called "Where Are Their Cell Phone Towers At?"
No, we could do a whole AfterBuzz show about Antarctica.
Right,
what they're up to over there.
And your pronunciation of Antarctica was brilliant.
Oh, thank you so much. I like to get those T's in.
Yes, you do. Dirty.
So Zeke and Sidekick, as we like to call them, SK. Mm-hmm. They're with the antique dealers. And
which were our favorites from last episode and some of our favorites from the season.
Yes. And they continue to be very interesting. This storyline, again, is the easiest to follow. It's the most straightforward.
This one, it's interesting because you kept not knowing, are they cannibals? Are they like their whole the joke for this episode was like they pretend they're one thing and then they're not, but then they are again.
Right.
So it's like they're
and then
fun,
they turn on each other.
Mm-hmm. So it's almost like fun, but then at some point I almost was like, well, I don't. But I guess that was a joke. Well, you know what? Actually, they got me because I was going to say at some point I'm going to say I don't know what's real or not. But that's exactly what Sidekick and Zeke are saying. They're like, I have no idea what's real.
Right. I mean, they were asking them to do some pretty wild things. So the episode started out with they're still kind of hanging out in the house, looking around, trying to see what antiques they can steal.
They got the big elephant trunk guy statue.
The boner statue.
Boner statue. Mm-hmm. erection statue.
Right. And then Zeke wouldn't let him take it because he just said, we just need to find a phone, dude.
Yeah.
Stop trying to steal the erection sculpture.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it seems weird that they keep asking for the phone. It's like, if these guys are like holding them prisoner, like obviously they're never going to let them use the phone.
Right.
It seemed like just demanding it was getting a little tiresome for me after a while.
It wasn't a good tactic for them, and I thought it was kind of a boring plot point.
Agreed. A little repetitive.
A little repetitive. So anyway, it goes to another part, and it's Walter and his wife. And so this is when we get to see her. Apparently, she was looking very big-breasted tonight. I did not notice that.
She was.
I noticed what she was doing, which she was working for Pierce.
And I saw her at a local restaurant, and they're not that big in real life. So
person.
I think they might pick them up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tricks.
Are there?
Yeah, sure.
We can do a whole podcast on that.
Yeah, we could. I feel like I want to, keep my dad alive, so we'll save that.
Well, just tell him not to listen to a few of these. This one is fine.
This one's fine.
Yes.
We're good in this one. But yeah, she was looking great, but also she's got this new job.
She took the job that she
working for his nemesis, and he didn't know that because the aide had kept it under wraps up until this point.
And the aide, one of your favorite characters in the show. Not to say it's not one of mine, but specifically one of your favorite characters. I love her. I think she's
really smart.
Very minimized this episode.
She was not featured at all.
Not featured at all.
Besides her little eager runs. If she was any animal, she'd be like
a gazelle?
Maybe. Or I was thinking more along the lines of like a lemur or a squirrel.
I'm not as familiar with how lemurs walk.
Lemurs are just very like, ooh, ooh. And I feel like her eyes are always so alert. And she's always ready.
Animal work in her acting.
Yes. Which is actually a thing, guys.
I know. That's why I say it.
We had to go to the zoo in acting class and study animals and then recreate their walks. Oh. And then create a character off the animal.
This is at Michigan State.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it is.
Great school.
It's a tactic. It's a technique.
That's not a tactic. It's a technique. But great. So we see her. She's looking hot. She's now working for the arch nemesis. And then Tim Robbins is like, I hate you. And that's when I was thinking, like, do these people even have sex? Because he shook her hand at one point. And I was like, why isn't he even hugging her?
I think he's trying to seem pent up and like they're at work. Yeah.
But then I was like, well, I bet Obama kisses Michelle on the TV.
Yes, but at the same time, she's not working for his arch nemesis.
Right. Publicly, they don't know that they're the arch nemesis, right?
I mean, yeah, they do. The two of them? Oh, the public doesn't know. No, but is the public watching at this point?
The show? I don't know.
No. I mean, like, the public, the American public, are they watching these two at this point? I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe not. But
so, I think that it was because they're in this situation where it is business, and they're also in a situation where he's, like, very angry with her at this moment.
Yes, but then of course he needs something from her, so he tries a tactic of lying, buttering her up. But again, it's not very. The show likes to do big 180s, like hey, boom, I need something from you. Obviously, it wasn't going to work.
Right.
So.
Well, he tries to seduce her into it, or not seduce. That's not the right word. He tries to be loving toward her.
Kill her with kindness, almost.
He goes, "Hey, I just want to say thank you, like your congratulations."
Yeah, he gave her like a little Barry
and then
White.
he almost goes in to kiss her, and he goes, "Just get the information about where Raj is right now. Tell me where it is. Tell me where you are. Just once. I just want to kiss your face." But she doesn't tell him.
She doesn't do it.
No.
Yeah. So he's left blue-balled, metaphorically speaking there.
Yes.
And probably real.
No.
His balls are probably in too much pain right now.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that there was any sexual motives in that. I think that he literally just wanted that information, because right now his main concern, for once, is completely on the job. Yes. I don't think in this episode, even if a very attractive woman had approached him, he would have gone for the bait.
Hard to say, but they definitely didn't write it that way.
Yeah. And I think there's a reason for that. This is one of the only episodes where he hasn't had his sights set on a woman.
That's true. What are you thinking about Tim Robbins' overall character arc during this show?
Character arc. I think he's been doing a good job with the character, but I don't know if it's had an arch.
I agree. It kind of hit me this episode that I was like, every time I see him, I kind of just already know what the scene's going to be. You're going to want something, and you're either going to like kind of bumble along and people are going to treat you badly, or you're going to get your way through it. I mean, I guess that's also. I was just saying, like,
I don't know if that's his fault though. Do you think it's his fault, or do you think it's the writing and directing?
But also, his fault. I don't know. Like, I just find myself more entertained when Jack Black is on the screen for some reason, and I think Tim Robbins is an excellent actor, and he's killed a lot of the scenes. But for some reason, I just felt a little whitewashed by him.
Yeah, I think this is the first episode we've seen him go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, he really wants it.
We saw more. It wasn't just the comedy in this one. We saw more of the pain of what's going to happen if he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
We didn't see a lot of it, but we saw more.
Yeah, well, and we know that it's important to the world.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was just a thought. Who's now? Who are we
Rafy's sister.
Right now?
So Rafy's sister finds Alex's weed.
Right, and that was one of the funnier. I think a lot of people say this exact line to like their friends or family. They're like, I never smoke anymore, except when I'm really stressed, and that's it. Like,
yeah.
Or when I have to, stay up late and watch something, or when I have to talk to my parents.
Right.
So I think
it's like whenever you have a bunch of excuses for something, you know you have a problem. You have to justify something that much to yourself. It's not good.
Or when you're trying to impress someone, you're like, no, I don't smoke weed. Like, no, I don't smoke weed. I mean, yeah, if I can't get to sleep, I'll smoke it. But I don't smoke weed.
Yeah. We're like, well, that's still smoking weed.
But it's like, if I have a good reason, it doesn't count.
Right.
So, so that was well written.
It was really well written because it was true.
And we're starting to see, and my prediction in another episode was that they are ultimately going to copulate.
I think so. I think there's a spark there. I think there's starting to there's a trust that's starting to build there. And I think this is part of the character arcs that we will see for Alex. That there's more than just his like bumbling idiot shtick, and also his trying to climb the ladder within American politics or getting into the CIA.
Yes.
I think that this love thing will show that he has a little bit more depth.
I mean, I think even just the journey they're bringing his character is showing that he has more depth. I mean, when he's sitting with, and I was just trying to, we always forget his name, the crazy religious guy.
Oh, the ambassador.
The ambassador. When he was doing his thing, I mean, obviously, Robert Kittredge is his character name.
His actor name.
Yeah. Yeah. And no, well, his actor name is John Larroquette.
Oh, okay. During the storyline that he was in with Kate Winslet, I thought was really just nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and, in his earlier career days, he was, not the lead, and he would play, like, kind of dorky but cool tech guy in a couple.
Nothing over the top.
Enemy of the State. He was, like, one of the computer guys. So he can play normal guy very well.
And I think we got to see some hints of that in this episode, which was nice. So what you just talked about was the ambassador saying that revelation is coming. And he says they have to keep it a secret and they need to keep the girls in the building.
Right.
Because Jesus is coming to take them all.
Right. One, I thought John Larroquette was just great. And I thought like, oh, this is one of those episodes when they really put their casting to use. Like they gave him this monologue and he milked it. Like you see those words on the page, I don't think they look anything like the way he said it. So I think he was great in being crazy, but not creepy crazy. He was just like real.
He was serious about it. Yeah.
And Jack Black was doing a lot of great face acting, not a ton of eye acting, but a lot of eyebrows raised down to lowered eyebrows, relaxed face, and then back up.
Right.
So we really followed Jack Black's emotions through his face on that one.
We did, but it wasn't over the top. Again, it was just yeah.
But he had a lot of.
Authentic.
I'm always just looking. We don't talk a lot about like comedy in this podcast, but I'm always looking at like, I think this show. If you read it, because I had friends audition for it, and they were like, I could not figure out how to make it funny. And I think a lot of times this show is kind of weird because a lot of times it's not written. Some of them are like jokes, but some of them are like just normal.
A lot of it's serious, actually.
Yeah, and it's just kind of the way they play it. So I just always find it. What are they adding to their characters? And Jack Black's just always got some goofy facial expression. That's really adding to the.
Or your intonation, or just your strange take on it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was thinking about you during that monologue because I know you've been waiting for his moment to shine.
Yes, John Larroquette, you're saying? Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, finally, okay. So, because we've been wondering what the heck is he doing on the show. So maybe the second half of the season he's going to be a big part.
I hope so. I would love to see him like start to lead some weird Christian.
Yes.
I want to say revival, but that's not the right word. This is my idea of what he's going to do. Yes, from within the embassy.
And that would make more sense if this show goes on to a second, third season. How does he stay relevant? And maybe he does that by creating some kind of movement.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. Good prediction. So
Thank you.
Next, we have Walter come to apologize to his wife and ask again for her to find Raja. And he says, if you help me save the world, I swear I'll be nicer to your sister.
Yeah, well, again, he was like, I'm here to apologize. And she's like, okay, thank you. And then he's like, anyway, just kidding. Like,
right. He apologizes and congratulates her on her job, but it's totally inauthentic because he just wants to get what he wants.
And then he drops to his knees. And again, this is when I thought her breasts were at the biggest in this scene.
Oh, great.
Yeah, just
you can always rely on this young man to give you a good time to find a breast.
It's,
maybe two.
We're all in this world together. Yeah. And we might as well notice all things. And
you seem to notice two things. More than others.
You seem to not notice genital things, which is fine.
Can I help it that I have a pure and pristine mind?
I mean, listen, I feel bad for your boyfriend, but that's fine. I'm sure you guys have a great time holding hands.
We do.
We do.
It's
lovely. I've seen the pictures. It is lovely. So he drops down to his knees. So then we have this long-running gag of the "I'll be nice to your sister" joke, and again, it goes kind of somewhere, but could it have been like a funnier sister? Like we all kind of get the "be nice to their sister," but I didn't laugh during that scene necessarily.
I laughed at the end part because he screwed it up.
Yeah,
he couldn't even go through with it.
That guy's not getting into Georgetown anyway.
He's like, I'm not pretending on this one.
Yeah,
he walks away. I thought that was funny.
Good payoff at the end. But they do tie in a lot of relatable. They do make these characters relatable and everyone is very simple. Like this is like a middle America show. Like nobody's too esoteric in this thing, right?
Right. You mean the characters aren't too smart or they're not above and beyond the point of comprehension.
It's almost like Shakespearean in that all of their thoughts are perfectly laid out in their lines. You don't ever have to really judge anything with these guys.
That is true. I can get with you on that point.
So obviously he said enough though, because 2 scenes later she comes back and she says yes.
She's like, hey, listen.
This is where he is. We show that she really does love him.
Yeah, he's in Geneva.
Yes.
The wife tells him. And he's very thankful to her.
Yes.
And he's like, okay, we got to get on the plane. He tells the aide they're taking off.
Yeah. Here we go. Pack up your stuff.
Here we go.
Everyone's
Here we go.
Running.
Here we go. Go.
Wow. This is the low grow. Here you go.
Yes.
I can't rhyme any more than twice. So.
Thank you.
That's the first time I've gotten a fake applause on this show.
Oh, Marissa's the best.
That's the first time I've gotten an applause in real life. Oh, great job.
That's the first time you've ever gotten applause. Poor guy.
Snaps. It's always at coffee shops.
Snaps,
yes. Yeah. And I noticed anyone ever following Tim Robbins' character, they're always running. He's like, we're going, and all the aides are running.
That's why I think she's like a squirrel or a lemur, especially a squirrel, because she's just she's always alert and she's always running.
This is funny because last night I was with some people and we were talking about what spirit animal I would be.
Well, what did you get?
Should I
say it first?
Yeah, I would love to know.
Okay. I'm getting a lion for some reason.
A lion. I like lion. I had said fox first, but that's in the lion family.
I mean, yeah, it's in the aggressive animal family.
But yet fun. You think of a fox, you think you're
a fun
cute.
Fox.
And this little sexy fox guy. What's he doing over here? And when someone's good looking, you call him a fox.
Yeah. It's mostly used for girls, though.
What do you think giraffe?
I could see giraffe.
That's
you're not really
neck.
Do you? I mean, it's not like your E.T. where you're like...
Is E.T. a giraffe?
No, but I just watched E.T. and he does that with his neck a lot, and it made me wish that I could just shoot my neck up, like Go Gadget neck.
Oh, yes.
But I can't because, I'm a human.
Right.
I don't see giraffe for you, honestly.
Okay. But a lion I'll take.
Yes. What am I?
Oh, what are you?
So that I may talk, squirrel.
I'm that dog.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I just see you kind of as an innocent puppy, maybe a kitty of some kind, or like a bird, like a robin.
I can see a robin.
Yeah, you kind of stand tall in a tree and you're proud, but you're also innocent. We don't think of robins getting into too much trouble.
Robins don't get it, but you got to watch out because the robin nightlife is hopping.
Oh, and that bird's nest. Talk about the birds and the bees.
Anything could happen up there.
And we're back to the show.
So, do you think that squirrel analysis of her is accurate as far as a spirit animal?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure we're on track.
Just to put a period on that point.
Yes.
Good.
So the episode ends for Walter where he's going into the plane ready to go to Geneva and track down Raja. But there's a new pilot in town.
New pilot. And again, this is where I don't know if we have to suspend our disbelief that these kind of like a coup is practically happening within the White House. Oh, and they said that we're going to replace him. So they've already said,
right.
Which we know, let's be honest, they're not going to. Tim Robbins is on the poster of all the shows.
Right,
so
he's directing a bunch of the episodes. I think he's producing some of them too.
Yeah, so we can assume that we'll get into predictions. But yes, for now, President's got him by the balls. And he can't do what he wants to do.
Right.
Which is like every other episode.
Yep.
It's a little circular.
But he's had more freedom in past episodes, so I think we're finally starting to see some real consequence, which I know is something you've been craving.
Yes, I've been craving it, yes.
I've been craving consequence.
Give
me the consequences.
I like to
just give me one.
Okay.
Anyway, so that might happen because the pilot seems very unyielding, and he seems like
they cast a very brooding. Yes,
yeah,
I'm not
he has about
around.
This many medals on his.
And no one can see that on the radio, but she made like a football
it's a large,
size. Yes.
Yeah, not football size because obviously my hands don't go that big.
Hello.
But it's about a large rectangle's worth.
Okay.
Just to give you a visual for you listeners out there.
Sure.
So
that ends Tim Robbins.
That ends him.
Zeke gets shot in the chest.
But we should say what was happening before that first.
Oh, sure. I thought we had.
No, we hadn't.
So, yeah, the cannibalism thing.
The cannibalism thing is brought up, and then they say, okay, well, like, maybe we'll let you make a phone call, but first you have to engage in this weird sexual act.
Sexual role-playing. Which, I was surprised that Zeke had so much hesitation. Like, Zeke is banging all over the place.
Yeah, but he's in control in those situations.
Okay, well, look at you being psychological about the situation.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah, you have to look at it from that aspect. He's
I don't
completely,
have to,
but you should.
I should.
Yeah, because he's completely out of control right now.
Yes.
And he's wearing a weird suit of armor, and these people are insane. They're videotaping them about to have intercourse with the guy's wife.
Yeah, I mean, that is weird. And but then again, he's just like, okay, he's motorboating, just let me use the phone. Like, that's when I was starting to be like, okay, like, I'm getting a little bored of you just yelling, let us use the phone. It felt like a bad improv scene. But I didn't. Yes, you won't let me use the phone. And something new. But I like the sex game idea. And her graphic description was a turn on.
Right.
And then it went a little too far.
Yep.
The guy, the husband, the British
pulled
husband,
out a weird gun.
A weird pirate gun, and shot Jeek. Shot Jeek.
Good old Jeek got shot.
Shot him right in the chest, and as we know with the show, there will be very little consequence to this. It does bruise him, but he's fine.
It bruises him, but he's fine because he was wearing the armor. Luckily,
yes,
he was wearing the armor. But then the wife goes on a tirade
because she says you can use the phone, and the husband's like, no, you can't. And then she's like, oh yeah. Arrow to the
bow and arrow. She straight up Jon Snowed him.
Not a bow and arrow, crossbow. Let's be specific.
Well, whatever.
Right to the leg.
She put it in. She put the arrow in the leg.
Yes.
And he was bleeding like a
lemur.
Bleeding lemur.
Like a bleeding lemur.
As they say. Let's get that statement going. Let's get that saying going. Hashtag bleeding lemur.
Yeah. That would be great if we could get that going today.
That would be really nice.
So he's bleeding. They have to take him to the hospital. Now, why these guys didn't just tuck and roll out of this car? I guess because they're surrounded by Taliban?
Probably. It's probably a lot less safe in the streets than it would be
with the cannibalized, sex-crazed...
Yeah, because at least, they'll feed them.
Yeah, that is true.
You can count on delicious foods.
But you might be eaten. He said he had eaten a person.
Yeah, he had eaten a person, but he didn't make a general practice of it.
Well, he was like, you have to literally eat it whole. He goes, they say it takes a whole village, and that's absolutely correct.
I love that he said that.
Eating people.
That was so funny.
So I did
that was one of the times when I lolled.
Yeah, I did lolly laugh.
I lolled there.
I Lolo laughed.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they call it.
That's my new Twitter handle. And so laughing. Now they're at the, and then they're in the doctor's office with the people that and we had wondered if they killed them.
Yes.
And they didn't.
They did not. They're there. So what the bombshell we got in this episode is that the guy who was one of the ones holding them up at the beginning of the last episode, was it?
Yes.
Is in this doctor's office, and he's a warlord's son.
Yeah.
So that's scary information.
Rough.
Rafy.
Rafy. And if there's one thing you've learned is you never let a prisoner that you've has tried to kill you, but then you catch him. You never
Don't let him go. Yeah. I didn't realize that they had let them live.
Right, because it always comes back. Every movie, Saving Private Ryan, that one dude is the one that killed the guy.
I wouldn't have thought those two guys would have a problem with shooting them either.
Right, because there's no consequences in this world. But Here they are.
But here's the consequence.
Yes.
So we're getting a consequence again.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
Things are happening here. Things are happening indeed.
Yes.
So let's see. Okay, so then the other thing that happens with Talbot in this episode that we should discuss is he's trying to get the girls out, but then the ambassador has forbidden any exit.
Well, he had this, obviously, this dream, this vision,
Right.
7-headed monster. He's like flying away with a bird and like something crazy. And Jack Black is reacting with a lot of faces, a lot of eye twitches.
Right.
And then, yes, it's on lockdown. These women cannot get away. Now, we don't know how he plans to use these girls.
I think he just wants to have them there for the
They're
end.
acting like a gate, like some kind of gate. Like
to protect him?
Yeah, to ascend into heaven, he must be surrounded by these 7 girls or something of that nature. Oh, you think it's to protect him to live?
I think for eternal life.
Which is heaven, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, right. Okay, just so we're on the same page. Yes, open up your Bible, please. To page 4. So, and then obviously their tweets become very relevant.
Yes. So their tweets become known because the whole country of Pakistan apparently had its Wi-Fi ripped out.
Yeah.
And they haven't had it, which is something I didn't know. Did you know that?
Did I know? Well, I don't think the show let you know that.
They hadn't let us know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So because they're in the embassy, they're able to get access to Wi-Fi, and that's how they've been able to tweet.
Yes.
So the Pakistanis now think the girls are being held hostage.
Right, even though the girls could easily tweet, we're not, I guess they can even tweet, we're not held hostage, but...
Right, but I mean, no one's going to believe them.
What's that called? Munchausen syndrome or something? Where you're... Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome, when you love your captives.
Yes, or you think you do.
Munchausen, that sounds delicious.
I think
sounds like a kind of like
disease.
German cereal.
Yeah, well, who doesn't? None of us eat enough German cereal.
That's right. Not anymore.
L'chaim. Wait, why? That's Jewish. Jewish Germans. You don't find a lot of those.
Oh.
Too soon.
Moving on.
So
the Pakistanis think that the girls are being held hostage. Zaman makes a statement and says, we're going to get our girls back. And the ambassador is still on the Jesus idea and saying, we need to keep these girls here. They're ours.
Yeah, they're ours. So, and that's where we're left, right? And
yes.
This one is they can't get out.
They cannot get out.
God knows they will next episode. Something will happen.
Probably. Most likely.
Yes. I mean, Tim Robbins is still Secretary of State, and Jack Black is still Tim Robbins' dude for all intents and purposes.
Lever.
So that could be used as leverage.
Yes, it could. So should we make some predicciones?
Not before the music.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
It's so calming. It actually kind of is. It's almost like a meditative
Every
state.
time I think of what am I going to be for Halloween when that music comes up.
You're serious?
Because it's got that spooky Halloween vibe to it.
It is spooky. And it feels like the Martians
are coming.
To the wire.
Did I ever tell you what I was for Halloween last year?
No, you didn't.
Julius Caesar salad. I dressed up as Julius Caesar and then put lettuce and croutons
on your face?
On my robe.
Oh, that's funny.
I drank out of a salad dressing bottle.
There you have it, folks.
I Googled Julius Caesar salad. Not one other person. Google barely even recognized it. So I pioneered that costume.
Wow.
So you're welcome, and no one's doing it.
If you see anyone doing it out there, you'll know it was this guy who did it first.
Here I am. Okay.
So what do you think?
I don't think anyone will dress up as Julius Caesar salad next year.
I think you're absolutely correct.
On the show, though?
On the show. Or on the show.
Yes. I think everything will probably be fine. I think, obviously, Tim Robbins is... I don't know how he's going to win over that captain. That seems tough. He's going to have to do some fun. I think he's going to have to send Jack Black out to do more work. I just
thought sexual favors is the only thing that could work. But that guy's unyielding.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know. Maybe I don't know. That was just the first creative thing that came to my mind. I got 100 ideas.
Sure. I love that you said that into the camera. You're like, listen, guys, I got 100 ideas, audience. I think maybe the wife comes into play again. She seems to be a little bit more relevant each episode, so she could become a bigger force.
Definitely. Thank
you.
That's a great idea.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Yes. What other? I mean, Zeke. I don't know what's going to happen to them, but I
think he's going to find a plan to escape the whole situation.
Yeah, I think maybe the British guys.
Oh no, not Zeke. I'm thinking of Talbot. Sorry.
Oh, Zeke. I think is going to find a way. I think maybe the Brits die next episode. I think maybe somehow the Taliban kill the Brits, and then that allows them to escape.
Yeah, it could be. I think he's definitely going to find a way to escape, or at least make a phone call.
Yeah, because how much more can you do with those characters, really? Like, they're fun the first episode. This episode, they took that. They're extreme characters. Like, how much more?
I enjoy seeing them. I wouldn't mind having them around, but as far as pushing forward the plot,
you'd have to find
I'm
a new
not sure.
game for them, though. Like, what's their new thing?
Yeah. What other environments? What kind of kooky situations can we put them in?
Pots.
Yeah, exactly. They'd be a great SNL skit. They should get on there.
They are just one big SNL skit. And that woman looks like a male British actor, and I wonder if they're related. I have to look up. I can't think of who it is, but she looks exactly like him.
A twin twist.
Right, a female-male twin.
Yep. I think that Alex Talbot is going to help them all get out of there, and he's also going to be pulled up to speed on what's going on with the whole Raja situation and try to help fix it.
Yeah. And, I mean, what do we think with these girls? I don't know what... He just wants to free the girls because he's not sure what this guy will do to them?
Yeah, I think he's scared because of what he's talking about, and he obviously has the hots for the sister. I think her name is Rita.
Right.
And he wants to impress her, but at this point I think he also cares for them on a human level.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm pulling for him and the sis to... I think that's going to take the whole season, though, to happen.
Yeah, probably. Well, listen, guys. This brings us to an end.
A close, sadly.
A close. Can you tell the people where they can find you?
I can tell the people. Listen, you got Go Blue Dave on Twitter.
Yes, you do.
You got Dave Abed on Instagram. You got... a movie that I was in called The Republic of Rick on Amazon Prime for free. And you got me at the Next Door Lounge doing Murder Mystery every Saturday. So you want to find me, I'm there.
You're there. And as far as me, guys, you can find me at Logro on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/Lograsso. And I actually have a music show coming up next weekend on Saturday at the Mid-City Lounge.
Yeah.
So if you're in the LA area, a little bit of soul rock. I'm a singer-songwriter, so come check it out.
Nice.
We'd love to see you there. And we'd love to talk the Brink with you. Tweet at us. Let's keep this conversation going.
Love it.
Have a beautiful night.
Beautiful night. Stay sleep safely and cuddle up to someone closely.
That's true.
And hopefully you know that. Worst ending ever to a show.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Where am I?
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.